the food and are now up to some more information by our speakers. So let's now have a look at what Mr. Maik Schawalder has to tell us. He's the CEO of DocuMatrix Switzerland. The title of his presentation you already see here. So let's give him a warm welcome and please go ahead.
Thank you. So hello everybody, my name is Maik. As already mentioned, I'm the CEO of DocuMatrix. And today I would like to talk about the transformation in customer communication and the channels that we have. Currently there are a lot of channels that somehow need a kind of a maintenance to shooting the right information to the right person. And before we start into that exciting journey, I would like to ask a question. Well, obviously you're not allowed to give any kind of answer here, but anyways, think about it. What is a document? Well, 99% of the people, well, at least those people that I spoke in the past with, they are saying a document contains information, like a typical PDF document or any kind of a letter, kind of a COVID certificate, or it could be as well a bank account information. Well, that's actually right, but a document is more than just that. A document contains structured data, and a document is independent of a format. So a document could be a WhatsApp, it could be an email, SMS, and the app, and much more to visualize information. And today we're also going to talk about the visualization part, how we are able to visualize certain of information for the customer. But before that, quick facts and figures about the company. So the company has been founded 1999. So we are since 22 years a reliable partner for our customer and business partner, and are currently operating in 4 locations. 3 of them are in Austria, and 1 of them is in St. Gallen in the beautiful Swiss country. We are focusing into output and customer communication management. Now we're having here an old-fashioned word, which is output management. So no worries about that. I have another approach today here for you guys. We are actually talking about preparing and distributing analog and digital information. We are operating with different companies, national, international companies in healthcare, government, retailers, bank, insurances, and much more. And we love and live the challenges and are 100% excited about to build the digital path for our customers. So now we're having actually here 4 topics about prepare and distribute information. So first of all, the multi-channel communication. So we are building reliable multi-channel communication solution, basically taking all communication channels together and bring it to one omni-channel solution. As well, unified and standardize the process, right? We want to as well being more efficient on a daily basis, and want also to automate the process. The digital collaboration, so here we created an environment to bring several people into that platform. And how this is working and what is the benefit out of it, we also will come soon to that part. Optimize personal resources. Ching, 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 that's the thing, right? It's saving money. Money saving is equal to earn money. So here we're talking about the inquiry management of a customer and transmit it to the right departments with an automatic mechanism behind there. And with the predefined text models, how predefined text models can help out to getting back as soon as possible to the customer in a short time period. And the compliance and security part, well, yeah, it's kind of, let's say, more or less a boring topic sometimes, but here we're talking about machine learning algorithms. As well, we are talking about approval mechanisms and why it's so important to having those systems in place. Now let's start with the multi-channel communication. You can find yourself right in the middle as a company. And typically, a company has different communication channels. As you can see here, SMS, it could be like authentication for the customer. Or as well, platforms like e-banking, insurances platform, you also are able to communicate and interacting with the customer there. The emails channel is going back and forth, that's nothing new. There are also app solutions in place that you simply can download it and use it, and also triggering some information to the customer. And here we're having the social media, so the WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and all other kind of messenger in there, and as well the old-fashioned document things which are printed, send it out to the customer, is still an important channel which you need to maintain. And for that, every channel here, it has a separate template, because SMS format looks totally different than an email document. An email format looks different than a social media messenger, right? So somehow we need to manage into one. But there are more channels. Well, these are the typical channels. So also a question here back. Just think about it. How many channels do we have out here to somehow producing information there? Did you ever hear about electronic shelf labeling system? If not, I'm just going to tell you a quick story here. This is Pete. Pete is working for a supermarket chain. And Pete has a lot of tasks in his daily job. And one of his jobs is to change the price labels. Now, what is happening as next? He's getting the information from a price database. At the same time, the price database should communicate the price to the web shop, because it should be the same price at the web shop and at the same time on the shelf, because when the customer is getting the information from the website, walks into the next store and see there's a totally different price, so he will be disappointed. It ends up on discussions and also is not quite a good impression. Agree? Now, what happens here, Pete is printing the label, walking to the shelf, and then pull the old label out from the super tiny plastic holder, and then just press it on that little price holder, the new label. Now, if there's a discount, what happens? So Pete is running again to the shelf and change the labels. New products, what happens? Yes, exactly. Pete needs to walk to the shelf and do it again. Now, Pete is doing that only for one store, out of 3,000 stores. So probably there are 3,000 Pete's running around and back and forward and changing those prices, which is ridiculous. On the question about how many time does that cost? What is the cost impact for the company? Well, probably we will not like that answer. So instead having Pete's running around, changing the prices, our system kicks here in the middle. So we just switch the price labels, the paper ones, into the hardware components, which is calling the electronic shelf labeling, and can simply communicate that to those labels, the pricing and the graphics. Now, this is something which is quite hard to figure out what exactly it is and how it looks. For that, I have created in here some examples. So that was basically on a customer project. As you can see, here we're having only 3 colors. And with those 3 colors, we can even layouting a human being. How amazing is that? And with one push to a single button, so we only need 1 Pete and not 3,000 Pete's, we can update it thousands of products on thousands of locations. Now let's take another example on the train business. Probably you know how a railway station looks like. Well, I guess every of you already visited the train station. What do we have there? A huge monitor which is showing us the latest information about the train connection, as well as showing us the arrival, departure time, and the end destination. What else do we have? Yes, website. So we're having access to a website to also checking the latest information there. Also, we're having app to simply download, let's say, the Deutsche Bahn app or SBB, which belongs to Switzerland. You also can download it and check the information there. You can buy a ticket as well. You can ask the people who are working there. SMS, email channels as well. Once you're having a question, you're also getting an answer on those channels. Now, these channels are typically behind the system because, again, here you have a static template which is serving that output channel. Usually, there are IT people which are taking care on the maintenance and making sure those input data gets the right output channel. Now, instead of having 5 people working in there, We only need now 2, because what happens, the magic, it happens right in the middle. So with our solution, we can simply having a dynamic approach, and it doesn't matter on which channel it goes out, it's dynamically doing the adjustment in our system. So what's the outcome of that? We save it 3 peoples. Now about the order channel, classic e-commerce stuff. The customer is ordering something from a web shop. Now, typically it's connected to some CRM and it's communicating some data. Either it's open account or not, or you're doing maybe manually. Now what happens here, you're getting order confirmation, kind of a standard process as well. It's working with SMS or other channels, but these again are kind of static solution. Now what happens as next, you get bombarded with newsletter, with SMS, with some promotion. You're getting invites via letter, and as well triggered by social media, you're getting some stuff on the account. Well, our approach is instead having those, let's say, static templates in place. The marketing department, once they want to have an adjustment on kind of sales promotion, they need to ask IT, and IT needs to somehow then implement it. It takes time, right? And then it's always about the question, do you have time? We know how it is talking to an IT department, to asking if you can do something. Usually it takes 4 weeks, or maybe longer. So instead asking every time the IT, so you're having that on your own control. Let's say you're working for the marketing, want to push some marketing activities or sales promotion, you can build it on the static template, which is a standardized order confirmation. You can push there some promotion, as well the marketing activities, as well the information which you would highly individualized for any target groups, and as well as celebration. You also can communicating through all those channels. Don't forget about it. That's a dynamic solution, so you have it on your own control and can simply push the jobs through our system. Now, everybody wants to be close at their customer, right? Why is that so important to having our customer with us? Well, we do have information from a CRM system. We're having information through an app. So once you're downloading an app, like let's say here in Germany, EDK app, also here you can somehow tracking the behavior of a customer. We do have the website, which you can driving retargeting. We're having the social media part, which also can follow kind of behavior of the customer. Now, what our solution is doing, based on those data sources, we can automatically generating promotions, specific promotion to the customer. And what's the reason for that? Yeah, exactly. It's to making more turnover for the company. Now, digital collaboration. If we're talking about digital collaboration, we mean digital collaboration. So you can find 2 departments as well as a customer. You guys probably know how Google Drive is working, right? Or Dropbox. But yeah, a lot of companies cannot use Google Drive regarding some restriction about data policy. So we built actually the same thing, well, with a lot more feature, of course. And we're not sharing any data to the US government, so it's running in your system, and we actually bring all necessary party into one platform. And how this is working, we just quickly outline a process here. So you're having here an employee, and usually you need a customer. Now the employee is creating the first version of a contract. Now the customer has some adjustments, so probably right there's a version 2 in place. Now there's a kind of price adjustment, again needs to be reviewed from the employee and then creating a new version. And it ends up with a final version, which is the contract, and finally needs the signature of the customer. Now, instead of having that process, which is probably through an email conversation, through Word or PDF documents, that exchange, we're bringing those parties into one system. So now the employee is doing the same thing. It's creating a contract, but is inviting the customer to that digital collaboration environment. And the system is guiding the customer through the contract, and actually the customer can see what he needs to fill it out. Once this is done, he can submit it, and the employee receives a notification and can prepare the last version for signature. And this is also possible with the digital signature. So we get totally rid of kind of paperwork. Now about the cost-saving part, optimize personal resources. Again, here, a beautiful topic. Now, why is the customer inquiry so important for the company? Well, yeah, it's paying my salary, it's paying your salary, customer. We need the customer, and we need to make sure that they are happy. And for that, we built that kind of solution. Let me quickly walk through it. The customer is coming with an inquiry to the company. Now you're having here those options here, and the customer is writing here as example an email, and our software is making sure, based on the content, it sends to the right department. Now that we can a little bit talk more about in detail, let's having here another example. The customer is sending an email regarding general terms and conditions because paragraph 2 is not quite clear. Now our system is checking the content and then it sends to the right department, which is obviously here the legal department. Now the legal department has the inquiry. Wow, that's the magic. Well, it's not only that. Our system is already creating a potential answer to the customer, and it's generating kind of a document, or let's say kind of information, which the employee still can edit. Once he's satisfied, he can shoot it back to the customer. Now the part about the security and the compliance, why it's important to having that as well in place. We're working today with sensitive data. It could be like healthcare data, the medical data, right? It could be like any financial information from some bank accounts, and that would be a pity if the wrong information goes to the wrong person. It's all about trust, and we need the trust of the customer. So we can't afford it that we're doing such mistakes as well. Who likes to having like incorrect information or not complete information? So with our software, we're making sure that you enter with the relevant content here, and with our machine learning algorithms, it kicks in here and already is checking the content if it's right or not, or if something is missing. With that, we can just increase as well the review and approve mechanisms. Finally, someone needs to give in here the approval. Once this is happening, it shoots automatically out those information to the appropriate channels. Now the last point, I brought something different here. That's about logistic, because a lot of companies do have a huge internal logistic. Now the customer, as you can see here on the top, it could be like external or internal customer, and he's ordering some stuff. So now the shipping company is ordering the carrier. The carrier is moving to place A. Now when it happens, the carrier now can communicate to the customer in that communication environment in the middle. Dear customer, successfully we picked up your stuff at place A. Time estimation is about 6 p.m. Now the customer knows what's going on, successfully pick it up. Now the customer do have the opportunity to track the truck driver via a GPS solution in our system. So the customer knows exactly where the truck driver is stuck. Once the truck driver is hitting the traffic jam, the truck driver also can communicate through that platform. Dear customer, we are currently stuck in the traffic jam, new time estimation, 8 p.m. So with that solution, the customer gets the fully transparency about his stuff and also gets more trust into that company because it's all open. Well, if you are interested in a reliable multi-channel communication, impress your customer with innovation and with a fast customer service, as well as engaging more with your customers, then we should definitely talk about it and seeing how your current setup is on the communication environment. I'm happy to discuss afterwards at the round table, and if not, I'm still 24/7 here for you. Well, at least if my wife approves it, but I think it should be not a big deal. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for giving us some information on your tool and what it works like. Thanks for speaking to us. We now have 10 minutes left until the next speech continues. So please go ahead, get some coffee or get in touch with one of the speakers, just as you like. And then at 3 p.m. we will again start.